But you want to know, actually, this is lore that I've never, ever, ever told you. But you know what? Dare I say, fuck it. I will tell you now. You want to know something kind of crazy, chat? Last year, actually, exactly last year, right? Around July last year-ish, I started a big project, a very ambitious big project that I know was not gonna be fulfilled until at least 2 to 3 years. So the reason why I started last year very early, like I just debuted, and like I debuted April, I just started working. I started that project instantly because I knew that it was gonna be done in 2 to 3 years. That's how big it was, right? As long as the base is solid, everything should fall into play. We have ample amount of time, blah, blah, blah. So I already got all the people for it. Everyone was briefed. Things were actually already done, right? It wasn't like, oh, it's just an idea. No, I spent a lot of money already on this project because I was making a game. So I thought, you know, because I'm not the biggest fan of making a lore video, but I do like lore because I do have lore. From the day I debuted it, I actually already have lore. There is a doc of like my lore as a character. There is a doc of like Jared as a character. There is genuine lore behind the character, right? Because I think it's fun, you know, like I am very myself on stream. The lore and the character is like, you know what's even crazier? It makes sense. There in the lore, it makes sense why I act this way. So it's like, I already did write the gist of it. It exists, but I am a nerd and I do like stories. I like characters with a story, you know? And I always think stories can be an extension of yourself, and I always find it cool. So I made a lore, and I thought, you know what? Instead of making a lore video where I have a part 1, part 2, part 3, I will make a game that will encompass all 3 parts. So you don't get the whole lore, but if you are like an accomplisher or whatever, you actually get to learn more. And then the other parts of the lore, that's where I'm going to put in a lore video. So it starts off as like a big lore thing, and then afterwards it's gonna be a lore video, right? I know, ambitious idea. So I spent like 8 months, I think. It was until like early, like January this year. No joke. It was until January this year. We had multiple meetings. There were so many people. There were like, I think like there's a lot of people that's part of this project and already paid for a lot of things. Not everything, but a lot of things, right? So as things were like coming to light and shit was being made, blah, 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 one of the biggest issue that I have, that I think honestly, like my mask is gonna start slipping off, y'all. The 13th day of the subathon, I'm gonna be so brutally honest with y'all, okay? One of my biggest issue is the moment I have someone that I appreciate in my life, I include them all the time. You know, and that sounds like a good thing. If only they stay in my life, right? Or like the situation won't make it so goddamn awkward. But I don't know if you guys know this, I've always included like everyone in the group. That's always been a thing. Everything is like tied together because I appreciate them, you know what I mean? I think they're good, and I don't hate them, don't get me wrong, but it would be a bit hard to write the same story if they're not part of the same place you are, right? So a lot of the lore of the game included a lot of lore impactful cameos. Yeah, like a lot. And then I remembered, you know, this wasn't like a project I had secretly. Like I had a lot of people knew that I was doing this behind the scenes. And now, what the fuck are we gonna do? Right now we have plot holes. Shit was already animated for it. We got assets made for it. If we completely remove it, that's a big gaping plot hole. If we change it, then we basically just have to make a new one. And it kept happening. Like at first I was trying to keep it afloat. It's like, oh, it's just, you know, like 1 person or 2 people, and then 3, and then and now it became what it was. So I don't know. Basically we have to restart. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. It's a mild TLDR, bro. If you're gonna make a lore video, right? Unless you're like 100,000% sure and you're not part of a corpo where people could come and go or the corpo could blow up, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it, y'all. Cause like, I did not expect this shit to happen. Who did? You know, so I was like, oh, I just want to have lore with my friends in it. Oh, shit kept happening. And then now everything flip exploded. So basically, I have to start from scratch anyway. And at that point, I've already lost like all the startup cash, right? Now, not only do we have so many unused assets, which is so like I was a little bit upset about that because like imagine you're an artist and you're super excited to work on this project and then you did finish the thing and it never got released. It's like that's really shitty. You know what I mean? So a lot of things already went to play for that. It was a sucky situation for everybody and I felt really bad. But yeah, that's actually a project that I've been consistently working really hard on for a year. For a whole year. Damn. That's the sucky part. But it's okay, you know. We will circle back to it one day. Is it possible that could be turned into a game jam thing with assets provided to the community? What's a game jam thing? Thanks for sharing. I mean, it was really cool. There were so many assets that were just made. Maybe I could. Like, honestly, I was thinking, like, because right now, I'm still in limbo with this project where it's like, do I still want to do it? Do I not want to do it? You know what I mean? Like, do I still want to continue with this? Because I don't know anymore, right? Like, I still want to, but I'll have to, like, it's easier to make something from scratch than to already make something and revisit it, change things, and make sure there's no plot holes after that change, right? If you've ever made anything that's like a big project, you'll get it, you know, where it's like, it's so much easier to make it from scratch and make it like seamless from the start than to like go back and change everything again. At that point, just make a new one, you know? So I'm still thinking about like, where is the nicer way to go here? Where it's like, do we still do it anyway? Maybe rework minor things, or then we do it anyway, rework major things, or make a new one. If I do, I will say this, if I do make a new one completely from scratch, none of the assets will ever be used. I will just release it to the public for free.
Thank you, Leary, for the raid. Welcome, raiders.
It's like, I'm not gonna fucking use it, right? So if I were to, because I haven't thought about it, this whole situation happened quite recently, so I didn't really have the time to think about it yet. But once I thought about it, if I'm not gonna use the assets that I already have, I'll ask for their consent. Obviously, I'll ask for the artist's consent, and if they're okay, I'll release it to the public for free. Do what you will with it. They'll be like, hey, chat, you just have random assets. Here you go. It's like a little box of things. Like, here you go. Because even though the project didn't come through yet, I still did pay for these assets already. Because I'm very big on like, I'll pay for the assets now. Even if it's like, oh, what a shame, they'll never come through. Whatever, it's not their fault, right? So technically, I do have it. But I'll ask the artist first, of course. Can you hold a game jam out of those assets? Well, fully maybe not yet, because some sprites were not done. We had like a lot of the sprites were like, I would say 50% done. Like 50%, there were still the extra 50% that wasn't really touched on yet. Which is so like, it would have been so cool. So now I'm like, you know what? I don't know, maybe make a lore video. Or maybe I do make a game. I don't know. Was it a 2D game or 3D? A 2D. Actually, did you want to know? It was a 2D pixel game. Like Omori, basically. Literally. Like the idea was, it's an Omori type game. So that was the idea of the original. So a lot of the assets were to accommodate that. We do have like assets of like the actual character art when you dialogue with them. And then an actual art appears. That was another thing. But we needed sprites for like the environment, the walkable characters. Oh my god. We even had like, the main character actually would be Jared. So the way my lore in this game is told from the perspective of Jared, basically. So you as a player will be Jared. It's like you basically find my lore out as Jared. So we had a lot of shit prepared. It was a shame. The story was really fucking good. The story was good. The script was good. The assets were good. Everything was good. The developers were like, yep, we did this. It's easy. What a shame. What a shame. But it's okay. After the subathon, I'll think about it. I'll take some time to relax first, and then I'll sit with myself, think about it. I'll go through the whole thing and see what we can do, and then I'll talk to the people involved in it again, and then see if they're willing to continue. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, chat. But yeah, how unfortunate. How unfortunate. Tusk. But again, it's not like I don't have these people in my life. So I was thinking that the worst case scenario would I be adding more. But like when I added cameos, right? The cameos weren't added for the sake of like, oh, they're just a cameo. I had like another person writing the scripts and shit. We did research on the lores of like all the girls plus Kuro, like thoroughly. So we knew their lore. We found like the timeline of where we wanted to set this, and everything is lore accurate. Like everything makes sense. It wasn't like, oh, out of nowhere pops out from a bush, there is Giga. Like it wasn't that. It was like this is what happened after Giga's lore. Or like in between this lore, there's this dead space of time. This is what happened actually. And it made sense. It was like a smooth... I was so proud of my writer, bro. The writer did such a good job. So it was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. So yeah. Suddenly, mid-boss appears by the bush. That actually makes sense. So yeah, there's a lot of things that happened. And I'm like... That's not the only project that sadly I had to like put a pause on. That's just one of the bigger ones. That's just sadly one of the bigger projects I had to do that too. Because like, I spent a lot of money on that already. And a lot of people worked so hard for it. So that is probably one of the things that I'm upset about. Because like, not only did I already have to invest a lot, I'm letting down a lot of people, right? I know they don't see it that way, but like, I personally see it that way, I guess. Where it's like, you worked so hard and you expected something from this and it didn't come through. It must suck. As an artist, it must suck. So it's like a shame. But there are a lot of projects that I either have to pause or can because of a lot of situations. So I'm just sitting here like... Never gonna run around and desert you. But it's okay. It's not like it's the end of the world. We could always rebuild them eventually. And maybe it'll be better. Who knows? Right? Maybe we're funnier now than we were before. It'll be interesting. It's interesting. So, that's a little bit of the lore. I actually did have a lot of things in the works that was supposed to surprise chat for the next like 4 years. Because a lot of projects take so much time. It was supposed to be like, hey chat, this year was supposed to be the 3D event. Which, holy shit. You know what? I don't know. I ain't gonna say nothing.